Creating your first backend application with codehooks.io, a complete tutorial. Welcome to this comprehensive tutorial where we'll walk through creating your very first backend application using CodeHooks. By the end of this tutorial, you'll have a fully functional backend with a complete database CRUD API that you can test and interact with. Let's dive right in. Step 1. Creating your account and logging in. The first thing we need to do is create an account with codehooks.io. Navigate to the CodeHooks website and you'll find several convenient authentication options available to you. You can choose to sign up using your email address, or if you prefer, you can use your existing GitHub or Google account for a seamless login experience. Choose whichever method feels most comfortable for you and complete the registration process. Step 2. Creating your first project. Now that you're logged in, it's time to create your first project. You'll be prompted to give your project a meaningful name and description. Take a moment to think about what you want to build. This will help you choose an appropriate name. Once you've entered your project details, click Create, and then be patient for just a moment while codehooks.io works its magic in the background, provisioning all the necessary resources and infrastructure for your new project. Step 3. Opening your development environment. Here's something really cool about CodeHooks. Each project can have multiple isolated development and production spaces. This means you can work on your code in a safe development environment without affecting your live production application. You'll notice that by default, a space called Dev has been created for you. You can see it listed in your project dashboard. Go ahead and click on this Dev space to open the Studio application, which is your primary development interface. Step 4. Exploring the Studio interface. Welcome to the Studio. This is where the magic happens. You'll immediately notice that there's already a default CRUD API deployed and ready for your project space. Don't worry if you're not familiar with CRUD. It stands for Create, Read, Update, and Delete, which are the 4 basic operations you can perform on data. Take a moment to explore the interface. You can actually see the source code for this default CRUD application, which is built using the CRUDlify library, a powerful tool that automatically generates API endpoints for your data. You'll also notice there's a settings section for your space. Right now it's empty, but we're about to change that by creating a new API token so we can test our API. Step 5. Creating your API token. Security is important, so we need to create an API token to authenticate our requests. Look for the New Token button and click on it. You'll be presented with options to create either a read-only token or a read-write token. For our testing purposes, we want full functionality, so select the read-write option. This will allow us to create, read, update, and delete data through our API. Step 6. Testing your API with Postman. Now comes the exciting part. Testing our API. Navigate to the API section at the top of the Studio interface. You'll see a curl example that demonstrates how to make requests to your API. Copy this example code to your clipboard. Next, open the Postman application on your computer. If you don't have Postman installed, you can download it for free from their website. Once Postman is open, import the curl code you just copied. Postman is smart enough to automatically convert this into a proper API test request for you. Go ahead and click the Send button in Postman. If everything is set up correctly, you should see a response from your CodeHooks application that says, CRUD server ready. Congratulations, your API is working perfectly. Step 7. Using the CRUD API to create and query data. Now let's create some actual data. In Postman, we're going to make a post request to create a new customer record. First, modify the URL by adding /customer to the end of the route. This tells our API that we want to work with customer data. Next, we need to prepare our data. In the request body section of Postman, select raw and then choose JSON from the drop-down. Now enter the following customer data: name, Jane, email, jane@example.com. Click the Send button and watch the magic happen. You should see a response containing a new customer object with a unique ID that was automatically generated by the database. This ID is important. It's how we'll reference this specific customer in future operations. Now let's go back to the Studio and refresh the page. You'll see that a new collection called Customer has appeared in your database. Expand this collection to see the JSON data you just created. From the studio, you can query, update, or delete this data directly, but for our demonstration, we'll continue using the API through Postman. Step 8. Exploring get, patch, and delete operations. Let's explore the other CRUD operations. First, let's retrieve our customer data. In Postman, change the method from post to get and modify the URL to include the customer's ID, /customer/_ID. Replace _ID with the actual ID you received in the previous step. Send the request, and you should see your customer data returned. Now let's update our customer, change the method to patch, and use the same URL format. In the request body, provide updated JSON data, perhaps change the customer's name or email address. Send the request, and you'll see the updated customer information in the response. You can also query customers by their attributes. Try changing the method back to get and the URL to customer name equals Jane. This will return all customers with the name Jane. Finally, let's clean up by deleting our test customer. Change the method to delete and use the URL format waitdice4grds vojdice_ID with your customer's ID. Send the request, and the customer will be removed from your database. Summary and next steps. Congratulations! You've successfully completed your first CodeHooks tutorial. You've learned how incredibly easy it is to start a new project with a complete database CRUD API. You've seen how to create an account, set up a project, generate API tokens, and perform all the basic database operations. This is just the beginning of what's possible with CodeHooks. In our next tutorial, we'll explore creating custom APIs with some simple coding, which will unlock even more powerful capabilities for your applications. Thank you for following along, and happy coding!